Hi, I'm here today with Mindy Gronbeck at Hawkins Companies, and she is going to talk to us a little bit today about her commercial property management experience. Mindy, thanks so much for taking your time. How did you get started as a property manager?
So I think most people don't start out thinking when you go to college you're going to become a property manager. I actually think you do something else before you are kind of led to property management. And in my case, I was in retail management. So I worked at Victoria's Secret, Carter's Children's Wear. I ran all different kinds of retail places before I decided to put my hat in for a general manager position of the outlet mall here in Boise. And did that for several years before applying for this position, and I've been with this company for 13 years.
Wow, how interesting. So you were able to transition that other management experience, it's management, but just a different kind of product.
That is correct.
Wow, interesting. Sometime I want to talk to you about that Victoria's Secret thing. Do you manage your own properties too? Do you have any that you own yourself, or do you just work here for other owners?
So Hawkins Companies is a commercial developer. So we own and manage only what we build. We don't do it for third party. I do not have any other properties that I do myself. So really my focus is the 4 million square feet that Hawkins Companies has developed. And we've developed nearly 10 million over about a 40-year span. But we currently have, as far as our investment hold, we've got 4 million square feet in 22 different states.
That's interesting. For the class, that means that you're an employee, essentially, and probably not an independent contractor then.
That is correct.
Okay, that's a very good perspective for our class to know about, because I think sometimes we think about just working for ourselves and having either our own properties or managing properties for other owners, but you're really an employee, and that's a good thing for the class to know about.
Yes, there's lots of different options in property management, but this is a particular one that I have landed in.
Can you tell us about the kinds of properties that Hawkins owns?
Sure. Like I said, we're a commercial developer. So in Boise, to give you an idea, the center that Cabela's is in, that is our shopping center. Also Milwaukee Marketplace, where there's a Zerkers and a Natural Grocers, that's also our shopping center. So we do those type of shopping center developments across the United States. We've developed from Alaska to Virginia. We currently have holdings in 22 different states. We also are a preferred developer for Walgreens, and we're a preferred developer for Sportsman's Warehouse. We've also developed the Trader Joe's that is in downtown Boise, and we've done 3 other Trader Joe's elsewhere in the country.
How interesting. It sounds like then you have maybe some opportunities even to travel.
I don't travel as much, but my team does. So I actually oversee a staff of 6 people who help me manage that entire 4 million square foot portfolio, but they do more of the traveling than I do.
What does a typical day look like for you?
Well, that's probably what's so great about property management, is that what you think your typical day is never quite ends up being a typical day, because there are always things happening. And so, what you've planned out to happen doesn't happen, because there's a developer that needs you, there's finance that needs you, there's accounting that needs you, there's legal that needs your advice on something. And so really what I would have to say is a typical day in a property manager, not so much of the director, but a property manager, is that you're talking to tenants, you are overseeing the expenses and the maintenance items that for those properties. You are on the phone a lot, you're up from your desk a lot, you are working with other people in the company as far as your portfolio goes. In our case, we have a regional portfolio, so each property manager has 2 or 3 states that they oversee for the shopping centers in those states. And really it's a team effort, like I said, is that Hawkins Companies is all in-house, and so we've got everything from accounting, finance, legal, IT, to property management, and so we're constantly working with other people on the issues that are presented to us on a daily basis.
If I could backtrack just a moment, it sounds like you mostly have retail holdings. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. I'd like to maybe get a little bit of perspective from you about the retail aspect of things. Sure. Have you done other kinds of management that you could compare retail to other kinds of things, or have you been mostly involved in the retail part of it?
Well, yes, 99.9% of my career has been retail. We've had a little bit of office mixed in to our portfolios that we've had to manage. And I can't speak to experience on this, but right now we are in the process of joint venturing with two companies on multifamily properties. So we've got multifamily in our future, but to my experience to date is primarily retail.
Okay. What do you like most about your job in doing this property management?
I think it goes back, it's kind of tied into what I said for the last question in regards of it's always changing. It's not mundane. I've always got a challenge in front of me. I always have something to do. I'm extremely busy and not just with day-to-day tasks, but with actually challenging work in front of me. And so probably what I like most about it is that it's always changing.
What is your biggest challenge as a property manager?
I would say that my biggest challenge is the people side of things, because you have to figure out how to adapt to all kinds of individuals. And you're talking young to old, you're talking the different diversity classes that we meet, you are talking from a personality standpoint. And so managing those, whether it be an employee, whether it be a tenant, or whether it be a vendor, it takes somebody that has patience and can adapt their way of dealing with different individuals. It's that would probably be the most difficult thing is just knowing that you might have to change in what your approach is in order to communicate with them properly.
It sounds like you really need a diverse kind of skill set to be able to function.
I do think you do. Property management is not for everyone. I will definitely say that. We've had people that we have hired that have come in and it's not been their thing. It just hasn't worked out. But those that really do love it and love it for the reasons I've just said can excel in it.
If you could give one piece of advice to the class, what would that be?
Get involved in other organizations that are affiliated with what you do. I like the Institute of Real Estate Management, NARPM if you're in residential or multifamily, BOMA if you're in office. Get involved in those, get your designations if you so choose to, but the networking in those organizations will help you in your career and will help you in your business. I know so many people that have joined and have gotten business throughout the country because of somebody they've met through one of those organizations. So I would say network and get involved in those organizations that support what you do and the type of property you manage.
Mindy, thank you so much again for taking the time today.
You're welcome.